Let me do my double check. Where's my phone? ¿Dónde está mi teléfono? Greetings, 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 and salutations. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tell the Truth Tuesday. Okay, so I want to make sure that we have sound before I move further, because y'all know how YouTube do me. So let's see. Can you give me a thumbs up if we have sound? Yes. Give me a thumbs up if we have sound. Yes. 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 All right. Happy Tuesday, family. Happy Tell the Truth Tuesday. I'm not going to keep you all long, but there's some things that need to be said. Let me get my microphone. Y'all know I'm always late. Lo siento. Okay. And my water. Do I have my water? Let's get this started. Okay. I'm not going to put on any music. I just want you all to hear the hard truth. So let me get my water together. I wasn't expecting to do this live. So give me, that's no excuse, right? Because Tay is always late. I swear, I have a problem with time. I'm not going to lie. I have a problem with time. I think I can get everywhere in 5 minutes. You know, but hey, you know, some people have no sense of direction, right? No matter what, they have no sense of direction. So that is something that I recognize for myself and I try to change it, but evidently I need to try harder. Okay. Okay. Greetings, Portia. Hi, Eliza. Nehnala. Greetings and salutations. Kat, greetings. So, Nehnala, you have made the video. It says, Tete, we are all here for you. I appreciate that. It's been a long time coming. One lady who crossed you once said the ancestors got her back. But sadly, she's no longer with us. The ancestors really got you, sis. I don't even know what to say about that. I pray for, let's get some light in here. I pray for protection because I just pray for protection because so many people didn't make it, right? Including Art Kathy. Now, I don't know what Art Kathy was doing in her life, but I know what she did to us. I know what she did to us. And, you know, whatever happened to her, it happened to her. She's gonna, you know, she's definitely gonna make the book. It's just gonna be a little twist with her. All right, so let's put this in here. All right. So while I go make my ice water, let me just say a few things. Let me open up these blinds because the wind is finally blowing and I don't want you all to hear the blowing of the blinds. But how many people suffer in silence? Not just nowadays, right? Even back in the day. For the people that follow me because of true crime, we see that there are so many people that suffer in silence. Now, the $1,000,000 question is why? We suffer in silence from my family members. Oh, gordita, you know, just saying a family member saying the most horrible things, friends, strangers. How many people have come on my channel? This is why I do subscription only now, right? Protecting my peace from demons. That's what I call them, you know. Some Gambians on Facebook today got offended. Why are you calling us demons? Look in the mirror. Not all of y'all, but the people that I'm going to be talking about tonight, I don't know. Are they shapeshifters? I think that something isn't right. But why do people allow others to have that type of hold on them and won't speak the truth? I respect. There was a comment that came in and it said, you do not need to give not 1 millisecond to these people. And I agree. But someone has to say something, because for so long, so many things have been happening and people are acting like everything is awesome and sweet. And when you have always been the type of person that speak up and for the underdog, I can't sit here and continue to allow this to happen. Now, most of the time I'm fighting for myself, right? Indirectly, I'm fighting for other people that may not necessarily support you or back me, right? So many of the Black Americans, I don't care about the dudes over there, because the dudes over there are acting like women. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the women. But so many of the Black Americans over there, they keep their mouth shut and they act like I'm lying, right? But the thing is what I ask is, what in the world has happened in their past to make them accept this type of behavior and act like it's normal? Because it's not. We know it's not normal. We know it is not normal. So let me do a couple things. That way I could see y'all comments at the same time. I'm sitting here on the floor, and we're going to get this party started. I'm only going to keep you all for an hour, maybe. I don't want to keep you all. I still have 1,600 steps to hit before I hit my 16,000, my 10,000 steps. So I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. Now, I am doing this video because, like I said, these people keep messing with me, right? We'll get into the court case and everything real quickly. I'm just going to touch up on a couple things. Now, why do we have to wait until we write our memoirs to free ourselves from this bondage, right? Recently, Brandy wrote her memoirs, and Hayden Panettiere, I can never pronounce her name. She's the girl from Nashville. She's the girl from what movie? She was a child, a real little. Oh, what was that movie called? It was the football movie. She was the white dude's daughter. Was it Denzel Washington? I don't think that was Denzel Washington. The Titans. Remember the Titans? That was a great movie. I just got lipstick on my couch. I don't know. But they just wrote their memoirs, and all of this trauma that has happened when they were younger. You know, Brandy used to date, what's his name? Wanye Morris. Wanye Morris was like 20 some odd years old. Wanye Morris should never have been dealing with Brandy. So, and Brandy didn't feel right about it, but we have to wait until we're in our 40s to talk about what has happened. I don't think that that's right. So, are we being fair to ourselves? That's the main thing. When we allow this type of trauma, you know, whether it comes from hate, jealousy, misery, emotional trauma, when we allow this type of trauma, are we being fair to ourselves? No, we're not. Now, let's talk about this thumbnail real quick. Why the hell did AI give me this manly hand? I don't know. Okay. But let's get into this, guys. So in the last video, I had to edit it, take it down, because someone put in a privacy complaint. Now, who put in a privacy complaint? Hey, that your guess is as good as mine. But it says at 4 seconds where it showed Khadijah's face, and then it said at whatever the other second is where it showed Khadijah's face, right? Oh wait, my nose is running. So when we talk about, I mean, this is the same thing that happened before, right? Anytime I say something and show her face, she puts in a privacy complaint. But why, Khadijah? Why did you put up with this? Do you not want anyone to know that you are going through hell in the Gambia? But are you acting like and telling your family members in America that everything is fine and everything is awesome? But you are getting molly-whopped on a regular basis. I really hope that she's not still married to him. But I think somebody said, she posted a picture, said us, but I'm going to show y'all. And I'm going to keep reminding people. Because guess what? This case is still at the Bundung courthouse, right? But Khadijah sat right there in that courtroom and in support of her molly-whopping husband and let him sit there and lie. The judge told him, well, the next court date is blah, 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 right? I was in the country. I was going to be there for 2 court dates. What happens? He was like, oh, Your Honor, I have to go. My job is sending me away for training. In Africa, we know you lying. You don't even have a job. He said, I'm going to play the game, drink alcohol, and do rugs. And Molly whops his wife. This is crazy. Greetings, RH. Hi, Donna. Okay, so, and like I said, so I'm going to re-upload the video, right? I did clear it up. Oh, wait. I did. I cleaned it. If it's done, let me just make it live now. I did clean it up. So, but anytime I say something, they try to shut me up. But you can't shut up my book. That's what you can't shut up. Then it opens up the door for so many other people to see what's happening in the Gambia because nobody else wants to speak up. All right. So do I care that they put in a complaint? No. Okay. So it's good. Let's make that public. Because I can go in, I can clear it up. But what it shows is, it shows the low self-esteem of this Black woman, and I truly don't understand why. I don't know why. I don't know why she puts up with this. That's why I said, back to the $1 million question, why? So I just hope that she doesn't keep hiding until she ends up on a true crime story. Greetings, Unforgivable Sins. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so let's do this. Do this, and we're going to go into this. Okay. So this is my very own true crime story, guys. Now, I'm just going to go through this. I went ahead and put some pictures and stuff together and made a video so that way it can just flow. Now, yes, these are my book of Gambian nightmares, right? I don't care that people say, oh, you telling it wasn't all of us. We didn't all do it. I don't care. Okay. I truly don't care. And like I told someone on Facebook, I have a right to tell my story, my experience, because this is the experience for so many Black American women. I can't speak for the men. I keep telling y'all I've never been a man. So I can't necessarily speak for the men, but for the women, if they are honest, you all see it on YouTube crying and, oh my God, I married him. He left me. I'm not marrying. I'm not going to go down that road, but I'm good. I'm good. I wouldn't do half of the things that some of these people do. And then sometimes some of these people wouldn't do half the things that I do, but I have a right to tell my story. So now, let me just say this. I think, not a lot. This is where you are, sis. Let me see. Is this going to make this big? Oh, I don't know what I just did. Okay. I want to make it. Okay. So I can't do this? What's going on here? Sorry, guys. Okay. So I don't know. I'm looking at it through something else, and I shouldn't be looking at it through here, but it is what it is. The video player. Now, let me just give you all a little background. If you saw the video from yesterday, did I make it public? I said I was gonna make it public. I did. So you all saw what happened to me. To give you a brief synopsis for the people that didn't read it, basically I took two Americans back to I took two Americans with me to the Gambia, right? It was a man and a female, aunt and uncle, aunt and nephew. And you all saw who wants to go on vacation with me. And I told her, I was like, I don't really want y'all to go. She was like, oh, it'll be okay. I'm like, you know that every time I go there, I am trying to close up shop, right? I'm trying to sell whatever I have, and I'm trying to get the F away from these daggone people, right? But she wanted to go. He wanted to go, so I took them. Unfortunately, this happened. And this is why until this stuff is over in the Gambia, like I don't even want to go back there. I know that once this is over, I could probably do tours, but honestly, my spirit is so vexed. I don't want to be around these people at all. And the sad thing is not everyone, but the trauma of the bad people is so astounding that I'm just like, I'm good. There's so many other places in the world. I don't have to go to shithole Gambia. So when I went to the police station, so after y'all saw what happened, right? He walks away. This is my mother effing country. This is why the Gambians that are here, that live here, that has messed with me and destroyed my life over there, or tried to destroy my life over there. Y'all, do you think I'm not going? What you think I'm not going to use the resources that we have in America? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Let me see if I start it over, if it'll go away. Press play. So why wouldn't I? Right? They're like, oh, yes, I'm going to call ICE. If you want to come here and break the law and cause me issues when I was over there, then why wouldn't I do the same thing to you here? I didn't go over there and break the law. That's the difference. Okay, so Nethala said, okay, so G made this video, right? The guy that assaulted me made this video, and he was like, I did not, Bill Clinton voice, I did not put my hands on this woman, right? I don't know what y'all saw. So John Joe, whoever that is, right? John Joe, that's like Bob Smith, right? If you just make up a name, it's such a common name. That person, we knew what that person was doing. And it's somebody that's connected to this. That's beat. Oh, let me discredit her. So in the first video, in the corner, you see him holding me down. So the fact that that person didn't see that, either they didn't want to see it, just like Shrek made 6 videos about the assault, said it was my fault. So this man helped to scam me out of 16,000 with Quasi Boyd, and it's my fault. Wow. Okay. But she's one of those black women I was telling y'all about. So Netnala says, let's rewind this so I'll be able to read it. Unforgivable sin says, sometimes it's easier for people to continue accepting things as they are than to do the work necessary to make changes. Most women think they need a man for survival. You hit the nail on the head. But she pays all the bills. None of her family members know that he's assaulting her. None of her family members know this. She wants to keep it a secret. And I feel bad because she's an older black woman accepting this from this olive oil lookalike. Jesus help her. So when I went into the police station after the assault, like I told y'all, I was on the phone with a Gambian councilman, right? He didn't know that. But when you are walking around with liquor at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but this is what he does. They said he gets up, he plays his game, whatever, whenever he gets up, right, from partying and popping pills. They got crystal meth, they got Molly, they have all of these rugs in the Gambia. These people can barely drink. Some people have a high tolerance, some people don't. But for someone like Jibby, he was deported from America for credit card fraud. Who scams their own family members that bought them, that allowed, that's like, okay, let me just say as an example. That's like me having a family member and I'm Gambian and I live here and my cousin came from Gambia and I allow him to stay in my home, and then he starts committing credit card fraud on the people that allowed him to come and stay there. Who does that? That's what he did, and that's why he was deported, right? So now, if you all know about foreigners, when you are deported from a Western country like America, you have left your country, your third world country, and made it to a first world country. If you are deported, your family members will disown you. Your family members won't have anything to do with you. Why? Because you messed up the best chance that you have ever had. So his family members wouldn't let him live with them. So he was literally hopping from floor to floor until he met dummy Khadijah, right? Okay, so when I was on the phone with he broke my phone. At the end of the video, that was strong arm robbery and assault. He grabbed my phone, he broke my phone, right? So now, and that's tile. You know, our phones are glass, so the phone just shattered, right? He was trying to pay for my phone, and that be it. I'm like, no, Ninja. I told him, you going to jail. He said, yeah, whatever. I guess he know his country. I don't know, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going. I continuously contact the prosecutor. Now I'm just not keeping my mouth shut because they playing games. So when I was at the police station, I had to take my SIM card out of my phone and put it into my friend's phone and call the councilman. He answered the phone. Where are you? I said, Bruceby Police Station. He just hung up. He didn't say bye. Next thing I know, he was there, right? The people that know me came to the police station to make sure I was okay. But the councilman told me before this happened, if anyone threatens you, call me. So I did. As soon as G walked up, I was like, it's going to be a problem. Let me call the councilman. Now, what I didn't know is Kwesi Boyd's ex-wife. She told me that she overheard G and Kwesi talking about if either one of them saw me to get me. Wow. Why the hell would I want to be there? I can carry my pow here. No siree, Bobby Brown. Do I want to be in that shithole country? Okay, so now we're in the police station. Now G was trying to make it a us against them, right? Oh, she's a tourist, she's a stranger, we could treat them any old kind of way. The police weren't going for that. So he kept trying to persuade the officer, saying that okay, so let's see. He kept trying to persuade the officer, saying, you know, my 60-year-old, for y'all who know, my 60-year-old stalker, like, oh, she's exposing her. There's this person exposing her online. Exposing me for what? This woman that married how many continental Africans and brought them here? Please. Now that's the SMEX tourism. So he even insinuated that I scammed myself. I scammed myself out of 16,000. Those police officers weren't paying him any mind. But let me just remind you of the frying egg, right? Y'all remember back in the day in the 80s, and they just had the video of the frying egg, and they said, this is your brain, right? Here's your brain, and it's frying. Here's your brain on rugs. Any questions? He is a prime example, point blank, period. So the officers just let him talk. And I don't know about you, but I can't allow someone to keep lying on me and stay quiet. I don't know how y'all are built, but I can't do that. So as I refuted his comments, the female officers just told me, just ignore him and show us the video. I handed them the phone, and once they saw the same video that you all saw, they said, this is assault day. And he went and sat his sorry ass down. And he was arrested and he was charged. Now, who came and bailed him out? His dumbass wife. His dumbass wife. Now, you know it's a problem when the police officers say to the wife, are you going to follow through this time? What? Is she that desperate for a dude? Yo, she was slim in that picture, y'all. So Nethala says, I could swear to God, I never laid my hands on her. I just didn't want to be recorded. Laughing my ass off. Okay, let me go back. So Nethala had responded to his video. He really made a video saying he didn't do anything. So she said, Gambia, Gambia, nice. Ha, ha, ha. Now, he loved that. And people, you know, click five people liked it. Now, the point I'm showing this is because he said that he never put his hands on me. Now, let me just explain to you all the difference between being assaulted here in America and then assault British, right? That's the UK, that's the British, I don't know what you call it, but that's their law, right? So there's common assault and then there is assault with bodily injury. I'm going to show you the assault with bodily injury. This video probably will be ad suitability, but I don't care because it need to be put out there. All of this stuff that happened is not ad friendly. That's why when people say Gambia isn't, look, Mustafa Dabi, wow, that is crazy. Gambia is a peaceful place. They know they are lying. It was a peaceful place when Yahya Jammeh was there. It's so triggering now that I had to unfollow. I feel like I'm yelling at you all. It's so triggering now that I had to unfollow what's on Gambia. Because it's just like a young lady walking down the street, they come over there, they snatch her bag. This is happening in the daytime. Now, Gambia used to be one of the most peaceful places on the planet. They smoke weed, they drink, the people come there and F them for $20 and they move on about their life. And they felt like that was good. Oh, we get to stay in this nice place we never stayed before. We get to go to this restaurant. Half of these people have never been to a restaurant. And it shows. It shows. It's like they come from the back of the bushes. So, yep. So this is, so when people say, I'm reading RH and Donna comments. When people say, oh, she need to get over it, y'all have no idea of the trauma that I've been through in that shithole country and how I really have to spiritually, I need to get my chakra and everything, my third eye. I need to heal myself from dealing with these demons. And this is why, like when Neknala in the beginning of this video, in the comments, she said, the ancestors got you. I do know that God has something planned for me for this. And like I said, it's probably right in my books because I will be able to help others. But people are still going to go to the Gambia and smash these olive oil looking like or short, stumpy dudes. What they're going to do that regardless because some of these women are just like, I haven't been touched in centuries. I'm fat. I'm overweight, but I know I can go here and pay a little bit of money and sleep with them. That's the SMEX tourism. The only thing is if you're older and you are, you don't have a lot of mobility, you are a sitting duck for these people if you do not give them what they want. You heard me? Now, as long as you giving and spending money, and they'll eat up your money. When I say eat up your money, they will waste your money, because they don't care. We know that someone that has never had something will run through money like it's water, especially if they haven't worked for it. There's no blood, sweat, and tears coming from them. No, everybody knows how to spend somebody else's money, but you have a Gambian dude and you don't give him what you want, you better sleep with one eye open because they are constantly scheming on your ass. So in here, go hard. Now you're going to see it says go hard Gambia, right? Right there. Go hard Gambia. That's Kwesi Boyd. Now, what's funny is how many people that have been to the Gambia have changed their name. They changed their YouTube handle. I have not changed my YouTube handle. I'm Travel with Tay Tay. I'm going to be Travel with Tay Tay. I'm going to say what I got to say on the Travel with Tay Tay, and that's what it is. But now, Kwesi Boyd, you will see he is Go Hard Africa, right? These criminals find criminals. Okay, so let's move forward. Now, I didn't know the demons that I was around, but Americans that lived there knew, but they said nothing. In fact, y'all precious Cynthia, right, from Bag, do you know that Cynthia from Bag, number one, this dude right here, G, he's the one that contacted Black Acres of the Gambia, Cynthia and Rick, and told them that Kwesi Boyd was behind, what was that called? What was that guy's Airbnb? Elvin's Airbnb. G. So G plays both sides. He plays both sides, okay? He contacted Bag and told them that Quasi Boyd was the actual person behind Elvin's Airbnb. So when G decided to attack his American wife's friend, Denise, Miss Cynthia contacted me and was like, oh, I have someone that want to talk to you. And I'm like, who? And about what? Oh, I think it's Khadijah's friend. She tried to act like she didn't know who she was. Oh, I think it's Khadijah's friend, but she got assaulted by G. Now, wait, hold on. If you are, y'all the aunties and uncles of the Gambia, y'all keep telling everybody to, oh, come to the Gambia. America's crashing and falling and burning. Come to the Gambia. Come to paradise. Live your best life. Why didn't y'all share her story? Why send it to me? Because these people are mother effing phony. They will sit up there and say the Gambia is this, is nice, is that. But when I talk to Miss Cynthia, her and her husband throwing the same amount of F-bombs that I'm throwing. But in the camera, they don't do lives anymore. You notice that, right? Why? But these are the same people that's saying, come to the Gambia. America's crashing and burning. If America crashes and burns and y'all are living off of federal money from your husband being retired military, then what you going to live off of, boo? You got to really question when these people try to, you need to come here. You need to come here. Come there for what? So y'all can make money? It's like 30 of y'all living on your compound. But most of the time, it's only one American that's traveling. So what happens to that woman? Y'all don't care. They don't care. No. So they want me to be, they want to, they should have shared Miss Denise's story, right? You telling people to come to the Gambia, but nah, they fake and phony. And they want Tay Tay to be the big bad wolf. You know what I call them? Cowards. That's what I call them. So, now, speaking of cowards, y'all remember the Aphrodite report, right? So the Aphrodite report, he did a video with Jibby, right? Well, okay, so Aphrodite report, like when it comes to Gambians, either you have some that are average, right? Average height, whatever, but either they're really small or they're really tall, right? G is like super tall. This one is short and stumpy. This one can't even turn his arms. He got so many muscles. I don't even know how he wipes his boom boom. Maybe his second wife wipes his boom boom, right? So he had a nerve to write this on Facebook. Now, why am I showing y'all this? I'm showing y'all this because it builds up into something, right? You all come in, hit that like button, right? Let's get this to 10 likes, maybe 15. Let's get this to 15 likes. There's 22 people in here. Now this is the same dude that said Quasi came to him with the scam. When I tell you all the scam, it is basically, in short, they would rent a big compound, right? Like a 5-6 bedroom house, and they would rent out the room. So it's like an Airbnb, but it was for Americans to come and stay like the Africans stay. The Africans, they live, everybody has a room. Some of the rooms have a bathroom in it. Everyone has a room, right? This is how Africans live. They live in the same house. Whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, I think financially is good. The other side, I don't think is good, right? Financially is good. But the second side, the flip side is all of your family members are all up in everyone's relationship. And this is why I think some people's relationships just don't last, because everybody is up in their relationship. So, but my question is, why didn't Aphrodite report, Abu, Wage, why didn't he go to serious crimes? He's Gambian, number one, right? So he's Gambian. He could have backed me up and said, Quasi Boyd, because I got him on video, on audio saying Quasi Boyd came to him with this scam first, right? It would have been a great business model if we weren't dealing with ninjas. Negroes. These need to grow, right? You get it? They need to grow, people. If we weren't dealing with them, I probably wouldn't be here making these videos, honestly. Now, why wouldn't he go to serious crimes and say, hey, I like to file a complaint. I can back up this woman, right? So it's funny how, you know, if you go to each person's page on Facebook or YouTube that of an American that's in the Gambia, they all want to act like they're doing the best, the same, they're doing the greatest things, right? They open up a store, you don't see any business going on. It's just funny. I swear it's so funny. I'm like, what is their life like in America that they got to go here and live like this? I don't understand. Now, we know that there is power in numbers. We talk about that here in America, right? How, you know, the plight of Black people, Black Americans here in America. But we also know that we're not over here singing kumbaya. This is why we haven't got reparations or anything, because our Black asses don't know how to come together and support. Some of us really do. The majority of us don't. I haven't done statistics, but if we did come together, we would be in a better position than we are in now. Do you agree? That's my opinion. It's from what I see. Now, the fact that people want to come to me behind the scenes, no one has gone to serious crimes with me and said, yes, Kwesi Boyd scammed me. Nobody. So when they say I don't have any respect for none of these Black Americans over there. Why would I? How many people are suffering, homeless? And everybody is like, oh, come to Africa. This is paradise, right? All of these people went and walked with the lions. This is Africa. That's not Africa. We're going to be walking with lions every day. What the? Are these people stupid? You build this big, beautiful house, and then you're worried. Oh my God, are the lights on? Oh, is the door get locked? Is someone knocking on my gate at 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning? Because that happens. Do. What? They testing you to see if you're awake. One of the Americans used to say, I will effing KIL you. I will drag you. That's not, now, how is that peaceful? This is what you're yelling at out the window at 1 o'clock in the morning. How is that peaceful? It's not. It's not. If that's peaceful, then I don't want to see non-peace uproar. I don't want to see that. How many women are stuck in relationships, suffering in silence because they are afraid to leave their Gambian dude for fear of him robbing them because he knows so much about them? Well, that's happening too. So this is what Can't Wipe His Butt says. This is what he says. So he said, and you kept going back there. You kept going there back to, wait, hold on. And you kept going there back to back, even after claiming what you're claiming. So I'm supposed to just let my car go? I'm just supposed to walk away from losing 16,000? This is how these people think. If you go to his page, all he does is insult Black Americans. But this ninja is in America. You think I ain't gonna call ICE on his ass? Well, I am. Because I don't know who's illegal. You see something, say something. I see something, I'm going to say something. You know, people may be mad. She calling ICE. Yes. I'm not calling ICE on Latinos. I'm calling ICE on continental Africans, because these mofos think that they can come here and disrespect us. Why? Can we go to your shithole country and disrespect you? No, we'll end up dead or beat. But you feel that you can come here and be disrespectful to the people that made it possible for your little short, can't wipe your own behind to come here? That was Black Americans. We fought for civil rights. Yes, some white people were with us, probably Latinos, but I'm saying, white people weren't out here saying, let's fight for other people to come here. No, that wasn't happening. Maybe some people wanted other people to come here, but that wasn't happening as a law, as whatever. Black people fought for civil rights, and then these Black pieces of crap foreigners want to come here and act like, what? You're entitled? I'm not a blood or a crip, but the trauma and the hate in my heart for these people, yes, y'all, I'm being honest. I love what they're doing to the continental Africans. Sorry, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Because these people feel like they can come here and do whatever they want to us and treat us any old kind of way, and we are supposed to accept it. This is our country. We didn't ask them to come here. But how many times you online and they say, "Oh, come to Gambia, come to Gambia." Foreigners always want you to come to their country. I think they just want you to come there so they can take advantage, right? Because if you link up with one of them on Facebook or talking to them behind the scenes, that's the first thing oh, it's nice to be nice. Oh, it's nothing wrong with being friends. This is their talking points. These are their talking points. And then once you come there, just like one of the other women, she went to the Gambia. This dude in my inbox, I just ignore them. I ignore them. I delete it. I don't even look at it, right? Next thing I know, she taking a picture of us. I said, "Ma'am, you just got here 2 weeks ago." Then she messaged me. I sent her a message like, "Yo, tell your fiance to get out my damn inbox." So he sends me a message like, "Oh, she won't talk to me because of you." What? Ninja, she won't talk to you because she realized that you are a lying sack of crap. That's why she won't talk to you. He got this picture up there, profile. Let me leave that one alone. So, Wage Abu, the Afrodamus report says, one few phrases of one of the languages doesn't mean you actually speak it. So I mean, I know I don't speak your shithole language country. Okay? You're I know that I don't speak Wolof fluently, but I speak it enough. How many Black Americans actually try to learn the language? So it's funny how you do things to immerse yourself into the culture, but these products of incest will insult you. That's all they do is insult you. Take your L and move on. The reason why I'm showing you this is this piece of doo-doo he's literally regurgitating the same words that Kwesi said after he scammed us out of 6 figures. Stop blaming Gambia for your failures. Well, all these things happen in your shithole country, right? So who am I supposed to blame? Japan? Who am I supposed to? These people, I swear, their brains don't work properly. Their brains don't work properly. Who am I supposed to blame? Taking 10-cent pencils to some kids is not a flex or can be called a foundation. Now, I raised thousands of dollars while I was there. Ask Abu, the Afrodamus report, what does he do? Does he volunteer when they go back? No. These are the same brain dead mother. Yes, I said it. Yes, I did regurgitate Art Kathy's words because I swear some of these people are literally brain dead. Their brains do not work. But we know scientifically when you are a product of incest, this is what happens. You may not be physically Down syndrome, or we may not see your physical limitations, but there are developmental delays from having a baby with your uncle or your first cousin. We know that. So, yep. So Denise Ann said, "Garbage man talking to a woman like that." This is why I say, you know what? You gave him a compliment, Denise Ann. I call him a male. He's not a man. Because a man won't talk to a woman like this, right? Now, when he reached out to try to meet me, Kunta Kinte contacted me, and I'm like, I don't want to meet him. He was like, "Oh, his name is the Afrodamus report." I said, "I don't want to meet him. All he does is trash talk Black Americans." No, he's not like that. Now Kunta Kinte was like, "Wow." I'm like, y'all don't know these people. Y'all don't know how they treat, but they hate us. Some of them hate us. If these are the same people, right? Oh Lord, Jufre Island, Kunta Kinte Island is where the slaves were held. So slaves did come out of Gambia. So if their ancestors sold our ancestors, and now we come back, we fly, we 40 plus looking great, working out, some of us, right? Some of us got some money. Do you think that they gonna love us? No. They like, well, damn, our ancestors got rid of them and now these ninjas are back. Please, please. So, oh, living in my soft side says, yes, you do speak it fluently and speak it well. I thank you. I'm not, I can get around, but sometimes, just like with Latin people, if they start speaking really fast, I don't know what they're saying, right? I might catch a word here or there. But the fact that I even took the time to try to speak the language. There was a video where he was like, he was going through my video and I said something like, a phrase, a Wolof phrase, and he was like, "Oh, she's using a Gambian phrase." So he only wants to use us for clicks and views. That's it, right? But he lives in Seattle, Washington, and I got his phone number. You think I'm not? He was like, "Call ICE. I'll give you the address." I said, "I didn't see you drop your address yet." They talk big stuff, but they will never give me the address. What? I swear, I should. Let me search it online. I'm gonna search it, see if I can get it. But so when you are given to these needy people, oh, thank you for helping. Oh, thank you for helping. Oh, but then you start speaking some truth about the shithole country. And then they will insult you. And then, oh, your little pencils. I have a registered foundation in the Gambia, a charitable foundation where I raise thousands of dollars to give to their needy ass children. I didn't have to do that. I was still trying in that shithole country, even though all of these bad things were happening to me. I still was trying, and I will still go to different countries and give to the children for an education, because education is everything. I just won't do it in Gambia. I will never give a child anything in Gambia. Okay, I'm lying. If I go back, I do have like school, like a timetable thing, some pencils. I will give it to the students. I'm lying. I will still give it, because you know what? That's the way to change a generation, is through the children. That's how you change a generation. These old raggedy piece of crap mofos, they're not going to change. They were brought up hating strangers. Take from them. Lie, scam, cheat. A Gambian told me we can do whatever we want to a person if they're not Muslim. The Quran says. I looked at him, I said, that is not what the Quran says. And I know I'm not even Muslim. Half of these people can't read. What the hell do they know what the Quran actually says? They can't read. Jesus, help me. My husband says some of the names and treatment of women is terrible. It is how, this is why I'm just like, is it worth it? Right? There is not one American that says, I went to the Gambia and I made money, and not one. But the more money the women have, there was a woman that called me when I was on vacation in New Jersey a couple years ago. And she was talking to me and she was like, oh, I spent this, I spent that. She was complaining, but online, oh, she is praising Africa. I'm like, these people are hypocrites. I'm not in the business of recording phone calls, but I'm like, I don't even want to talk to half of these people. Because when I don't agree with the bullish, they trying to feed me BS and they're telling me it's chocolate, I'm like, no. Oh yeah, you right. Girl, these people are older though. They're like 60. I don't know what's wrong with our people. So he says, when you let me rewind that. He says with something about laying with dogs, why complain about the fleas? So I guess he's calling his own Gambian people dogs. You lay with dogs, you get up with fleas. What does that mean? He's going back to what Gambia is known for, the Smex tourism. That's all they talk about. Oh, we got the good sex. We got this. I'm like, are y'all Muslim prostitutes? What's happening here? I don't know. He says, when you lay with dogs, why would you complain about fleas? So laying with dogs, me going to your country, giving school supplies, doing all of these things to help your shithole country and your people. And this is the thanks we get. But let me just take this a little bit further. There is a Gambian that told me, I said, well, why don't Gambians, that you know, they're mechanics, they're electricians, they're doctors, why don't they go back and volunteer their time and share the knowledge that they got from the West with their people? You know what I was told? Somebody said to me, what? Gambians volunteering? They don't do anything for free. I said, he's Gambian. He's Gambian. And I know he's telling the truth, because the place that I was staying that I got robbed at, the owner, that's who I'm calling ICE on, y'all. I looked up the crimes. He committed immigration fraud. He committed a federal crime. He committed state crime. I'm gonna rip his ass. I'm writing the medical board. I'm contacting the news. You married your niece, so y'all want to F us over there? Let's see. He's a nurse practitioner. I feel so much better about it now, because I was like, how am I going to write this letter? Thanks to AI, right? So, but why do this to us? They all live in Washington. They all live in Washington State. So this is my thing. Why didn't a nurse practitioner that's a psychiatric, so he's advanced professional, advanced nurse practitioner of psychiatry, why wouldn't you go to Tonka Tonka and volunteer your time, since you're so educated? But once y'all see this video, that y'all gonna be like, wait, he's what? I don't know why I'm scared to go to school and get my degree, my bachelor's degree, because some of these people, I don't even think their brains don't even work properly. But he knows how to insult us. Oh, these people. We'll see. Well, let's see what the medical board say when they know that you violated. You can't marry your cousin. That's against your niece. That's against the law in the state of Washington. But they come here and they do what they want, right? Let's see. Let's see if this government, this administration is as bad as everybody say it is. Let's just really see. So they won't volunteer. So if you see, I don't care if the pencils cost 10 cents. Did we not give these students something to help them to learn in school and help their parents? He don't care, because they don't give a F about us. They just want to take, and then tell you to kiss their butt. Okay. Greetings, Rose Quartz. RH said, I don't care what you gave. It's more than what they had. It's true. But you see how Americans, we look at things differently than they do, right? How many times have you sent $20 to someone you don't know? Maybe even $100. I sent the girl from Kenya $100, right? I see her. She lost her job, this, that, and the third. But I've been watching her on Facebook. She goes to school, this, that, and the third. I sent her $100. Right? But how many times do we send people we don't know and then they run off and you never talk to them again? But they always want to say Black Americans are so bad. We are the most welcoming people. Sometimes we shouldn't be welcoming to many others because we get the short end of the stick. But how many of them can help us? Do we see these same mofos in our community? Do we see them in our schools helping our children? No. Do we see them in our clinics? No. Do we see them in any of the hoods? No. But we're expected to help these raggedy ass people? Not me. Not me. Y'all can do it. I won't. From the sound of it, I'm glad you made it out of there safely. Jealousy makes people dangerous. Miss Denise Ann, wait until you hear the rest of this video. You wait until you hear the rest of this video. He married the niece for a K-1 marriage visa. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So that's fraud, because you can't. Now, when I read this, I was like, what the hell? It's fraud because the marriage is void because that's not an eligible person that you can marry here in America. So yes, he did marry her, brought her here, further crime, further fraud. He put her name on the he put her name on the what do you call it? Their mortgage. So that's further fraud. Now, when I saw what the mortgage company can do to him, let me just say this. The mortgage, the loan was for $792,000. Now, for those who understand the law here in America, if he writes fraudulent information on the mortgage, what can happen? Do y'all know? I mean, because that's further fraud. You're saying that this is your wife, but that's not actually your wife because she's not eligible to be your wife. Okay. Corbin Starr says, that's scary. Can you imagine the level of care he's providing to Black Americans? Yikes. Oh, man. You know what? Wow. You just shut me up. Okay. My brain just started firing, right? Because we talk about this. We talk about this, about the level of care that Black Americans get. So if now this one, Ibrahima, right? Bangora, the psychiatric nurse practitioner. I'm just gonna. This video is not about him, but I'm going to. It's a 3-minute video that he made, and we're gonna go through that. But you're right. Can you imagine the level of care that he's given to Black Americans when he has hate for Black Americans? That you hit the nail on the head with that one. This one, Abu, right? He came here when he was young. So you know that when you're in Africa, you know, they get out unless your family has money, you are quitting school early and you're going to get a job. So many of these people couldn't even read and write. Right? But they know how to finesse an older Black woman to get to America, because that's what Abu did. That's what Afrodamus Report did. Right? He came to America on the back of an old Black woman, and then he dropped her, and then he's in Seattle, so he got a white woman. I wonder, does she know how foul he is and how much of a misogynistic he is? I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me. So, but this one, who hires anyone? Correction facilities, jails, prisons. You don't have to have an education. That's who he worked with. And then he want to judge Black Americans. Don't he know that all of us, I can carry multiple guns because I have never been arrested. How many of the Americans, the Black Americans in Gambia, can say the same thing? How many can Shrek say that? Can Shrek carry a gun? Is she a person that is authorized to carry a pow? Because allegedly she's been arrested. Has she been convicted? I don't know, y'all. I know that I have never been in handcuffs. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. But he want to say, oh, she's ghetto. Well, how am I supposed to deal with these damn demons when they say things like this? It's your fault. It's my fault that someone walks up to me and puts his hands on me and snatches my phone, holds me down. I tried to bite the shit out of his arm, y'all. I opened up my mouth. He pulled that arm back. You saw what happened. But I'm the ghetto one? Please. All these people want to do is insult because they are brain dead. Starting my second year in behavioral health. Geez, these people are nutty. I can't imagine some Black people choosing him because he's Black, right? How many people look for someone that they can relate to when looking for a therapist? Because I know I was looking for someone that I could relate to. So Carbon Star says, I can't imagine some black people choosing him because he's black, expecting a certain level of care, yet secretly he hates them. One of my kids works for Homeland Security. Oh, fraud charges are federal. Wait, so do they get, okay, so let me say this, Denise Ann. If they bring a case and it's a good case, is that what was the word I'm going to look for? Would that be good for them? You know how if you're in the FBI and you bring a case in and it's a good case, if that's the case, email me. Because I'm not playing. I am not playing. Those are federal charges. This is what this man has done. I have pictures and everything. That is his niece. When his niece said to me, she showed me the picture, she was trying to sell her wedding dress. I'm like, girl, don't nobody want that. He was said, so I took pictures and she was like, I said, where did you meet him? Because I noticed he's so much older than her, right? He's like 50 something. She's 26. I said, where did you meet him? She was like, oh, that's my uncle. Y'all should have saw my face. They don't understand emotions. They have a very low EQ, right? So they have no emotional intelligence. Not everyone, but this is why diabolical things can happen. And people like this person will blame the person because he has a low EQ. These people are sociopaths. A Gambian said that. He said these people, he said Gambians are sociopaths. They have no, the fact that you can get robbed. I got robbed and my security was right there, standing right beside me, acting like everything was fine, and he's the one that orchestrated it. What if that's not a sociopath, psychopath? I would say sociopath because he has no emotions. This man, this person, this male says, stop blaming Gambia for your failures. Just take your L. So I'm supposed to take a $16,000 loss? Tell him, no, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell the authorities what these people have been doing. Let's see how they like that L and move on. Because there's no accountability for these people. No accountability. No accountability. That's crazy. Can he be charged with incest? I think so. So when I looked it up, it's criminal. Let me see. So let's just look at it. Let's just look at it real quick. Let me make sure. It is a sociopath. Okay, so I did have it right. Yep. Okay, so let's look at this. This says, I don't care if y'all see that. Y'all know I'm in school. So all that is scholarship stuff. Yes, yes. Okay, so this says, to file a complaint against a medical provider in Washington, submit a report to the Washington Medical Commission. Okay, so all right, so let's see. Okay, so let me see. So what are some disciplinary actions for a medical professional to commit marriage fraud? License revocation, right? They revoke their license suspended, summary suspension. Practice probation, administrative fines, public reprimand. Now, I want to get to, all right, now, this is, I wanted the state. So it says the legal basis for discipline. The state does not need a medical malpractice claim to penalize a practitioner for marriage fraud. Instead, the DOH, which defines the following as unprofessional conduct, acts of moral turpitude. Washington law explicitly dictates that any act involving moral turpitude, dishonesty, or corruption constitutes grounds for discipline, regardless of whether it relates directly to patient care. Federal statute violations, the UDA permits boards to discipline a provider for violating any state or federal statute. Criminal convictions, right? A conviction is not a prerequisite for a board to act, but a criminal judgment serves as a conclusive evidence of guilt. Now let's go into this. Let me just go into this a little bit more. So I wrote, what are the laws in Washington regarding a nurse practitioner marrying his niece, bringing her to America, and then adding her name to a mortgage property, right? This scenario crosses multiple distinct legal professional. Okay. This scenario crosses multiple distinct legal and professional boundaries under Washington state and federal law because it involves family member marriage, federal immigration, property transfers, and nursing board regulation. Several specific laws apply, right? So now, I don't really understand the property transfers because um, I have not purchased property. So I don't know if a property transfer, he added her name to the mortgage. So I don't know if that's considered a property transfer, right? But it says Washington state marriage and criminal laws, incest. That's criminal, right? So someone asked me, can he get charged with incest? Well, it says an uncle marrying his niece is entirely illegal under Washington state family and criminal statutes. Prohibited marriages. State law explicitly mandates that it is unlawful for any person to marry their niece or nephew. This happens in the Gambia, though. They will marry their family member in 2.5 seconds and then get mad if you don't marry a family member. I'm like, the hell is wrong with y'all? All these people out here, you feel like you need to marry a family member? Jesus, help these people. A marriage certificate issued within the state under these circumstances is legally void from its inception. So the law, he knew when he married his niece in the Gambia, he started fraud from there. He got this big 3-story house, right? It's 2 separate houses put together. I stayed in one. His wife, who was also his niece, and his great niece stayed in the other. He married his niece, brought her to America, left his great niece there. The girl don't have any teeth. His niece, that's the wife, she's so sad and depressed. This girl sleep all day, every day. She can't even go see her own family. So this man is a nurse practitioner for psychiatry, and he is imposing emotional trauma on everyone that crosses his path. Oh, the medical board needs to know this. Criminal incest. So this, Donna, is answering your question. Criminal incest, engaging in a blah, blah, blah relationship with a biological niece constitutes criminal incest, right? And it says, depending on the specific nature of the contact, which, I mean, he says he wants her to have his son. You're 50 some odd years old and you can't meet a woman here? Jesus help me. Oh my God. If familiar marriage is not legal in Washington, both the husband and wife can be charged with the crime. Thank you, Denise Ann. I forgot about that. She can be charged too. I got a picture of her too. And a picture of the auntie. They're okay with this, y'all. They're okay with this. But you're going to hear the video of how they treated me. Oh, the aunt. I'm like, these people are wicked. So it says, depending on the specific nature of the contact, this is prosecuted as a Class B or Class C felony. Not a misdemeanor, a effing felony. Woo woo! Hey, they frauded from day one. USCIS involved. I don't know. Is that like I don't know what that means, but they did defraud. They defrauded from day one. They frauded from day one is what RH is saying. But they did, right? Because they got married. So they signed paperwork in the Gambia knowing that they were family members, right? Then for 2 years, he left her there. He didn't come back. Technically, per Muslim law, you can't leave your wife for that long. You're not supposed to. He didn't come back for 2 years. And then finally, he takes her to America. So that means you continuously added more fraud for the K1 visa, knowing, oh, I'm going to rip these people. I don't care, because this is what they do to us over there. And then you come here and you a big man. They call him Banks. Banks. Because of what? He probably got money. He got a Range Rover over there. That's the highest level of as a nurse practitioner that you can be. And this is what he is imposing on people. Oh, I'm telling. And this ain't snitching because I didn't have anything to do with this. So that was the first law. That was the first criminal, right? Washington state marriage and criminal laws in regards to marrying your family member. The second one is federal immigration law, visa and marriage fraud. Using an illegal or fraudulent marriage to secure a green card or visa violates federal immigration law. Ooh, ooh. Hey, I'm going to call ICE. I'm going to call the TV station. I'm going to call everybody that will listen. But most importantly, this letter will go to the medical board. Let's see. And to his boss. Let's see how they like that, Ibrahima. Right? Because what did he do? He paid someone in the Gambia to make sure that his employee that was being prosecuted for my home invasion walked free. Did you hear that? Let me say that again. Ibrahima, the person that has committed all of this, right? All of these, paid and hired a lawyer. I went through, the case is still going on, but his employee, his watchman that conspired to commit 2 felonies with my ex-boyfriend, my former security, I'm not done with his ass either, or his sister, Renee Marcus. I'm about to rip these people. But I'm sorry. I really hate them, y'all. I'm sorry. I have hate in my heart. I really do. But once you all see, you're like, damn, they did all this to this girl. All the while saying, alhamdulillah. So now, his Dr. Ibrahima Bangora of Seattle, Washington, conspired his employee, his watchman, Marlon Kubali, who is from Guinea-Bissau, conspired with my watchman, my security, to rob me while I was sleeping. Ibrahima hired this man a lawyer. Now, what's funny is I was out there speaking Wolof. He say, oh, you know a few phrases. I know how to get around. I know how to order my food. I know how to ask you where you going. I know enough, right? Just like I went to Mexico and I knew enough to get around with my Spanglish. So now what's crazy is I went to the local shop. I got my breakfast. There was a woman sitting there. I paid for her sandwich, right? Now, what's funny is I didn't know that she was the lawyer for Marlon. So she was like, oh, you're so nice. And now when we both walk into the courtroom and I'm sitting there and I see her, she looked at me, y'all, her face was like, oh my God, that's her? Yes. So I wonder what did she think in her mind? This woman is a nice woman. She was she eating with us, right? She is talking to us and this is her? Yes. Now, I testified, I did what I had to do. The evidence is of his watchman, Ibrahima's security. The evidence, I have a picture of him standing right in front of the window with the burglar bars off. And then he sent those pictures to Mahdi. I heard him say that to the SO. Mahdi. He said, how did you get these pictures? He said, Mahdi. I said, motherfucker, these people? Oh, God. If the purge is ever real, oh, y'all gonna see me training. They're gonna be like, that is pure hate driving this girl. Okay, now. When it was time for the process, when it was time for Ibrahima's lawyer, Ibrahima's watchman, his lawyers to put up a defense, they said the prosecution didn't meet their case, and he was what? Acquitted. How? Because Ibrahima paid. Now I'm supposed to just let that happen? This is why I'm fighting like this here. I can't fight over there, but this is our fucking country, okay? We can fight here. I'm going to fight here, especially when he has committed. Sorry, y'all. These Gambians bring the worst out of me, but especially when he's over here doing all this. Oh, we're going to make an example out of his ass. We're going to make an example out of him. Oh, okay. So RH said, go to USCIS needs to get involved. Okay, so let me write that down. Where's my pencil? Ana pencil B. Oh, Shantae, you left the pencil over there. Okay, so let me write that down, guys. USCIS. Okay. USCIS for Ibrahima. Thank you for that, y'all. These people need to be, they need to be shut down. And the thing is, you know, what happens, okay, let me just use slavery, right? They made an example out of one person to get everybody else in line. This will be a big example. Because how many other people are married to their cousins? Well, I guarantee you they're going to be scrambling. Y'all remember that girl, Maimuna? Oh my God. Okay, is Renee living in the Gambia now? I heard she is. You notice I went to her page the other day just to see, right? I say the other day, this was probably maybe in February or January. I don't know. I've been in school for the past 15 weeks. I don't know if I'm coming or going. So, and then what's today? And in 7 more days, I'll be back in school. So, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I'm back on the path, on the road that I was on before I detoured the shithole Gambia. But yeah, she's back in the Gambia. But let's just say this real quick, living in my soft side. You notice if you go to her page, she only speaks Wolof now. When you go to her page, she's no, not just that. Assalamu alaikum in Boca. But I thought you said you were a Christian. That girl would be anything. She would be anything to get whatever. Now she got a bakery, right? But let's just say this. She's 26. How is she affording to live in the Gambia, y'all? Because over in the UK, as long as you don't say anything about the country, you know, you can, they in London, right? If they're living in London or Yorkshire or I'm trying to remember the places he told me, or Lincoln, right? They have you in certain places. It's like the projects, but on a country scale, right? So when they talk about America, I'm like, y'all really don't even know. So the government will give you money as long as you don't say anything. They give you money to eat. They give you somewhere to live. But you're in a specific location. So all the people know if you live there, first of all, your accent is different from being in Manchester compared to Lincoln. Right? You're Lincoln. You have a different accent. So they know where you're from. And then they be having these people living. If y'all look at the video of Renee Marcus trying to act like her father is so gangster against his little brother, right? She has a sheet hanging up. She don't even have a curtain. But you want to talk about American? How is she 26, 28 years old living in the Gambia? What is she making money off of? She's as long as when you see all of these UK people in the Gambia for extended period of time, they're getting a check and they can live there. But within the 6 months, they got to go back and then they come back. So yeah, I heard she's living in the Gambia now, living in my soft side. Well, he won't be walking free long if you turn him in to the county state attorney to prosecute them for being related, and USCIS for the K1 fraud. Let me take a picture of that because I am. Go to the county recorder in the county where they live and look for recorded mortgages. I got that. And notify the mortgage company of the fraud of them being married. Thank you, Denise Ann. I got that information. I screenshot that too. I sure will be telling the mortgage company. She probably has a huge sugar daddy. So her uncle is her sugar daddy. Oh, no. Her daddy is her sugar daddy. You talk about Renee Marcus. Her daddy is her sugar daddy. She's 26 and she was sleeping in the bed with her dad. Why? There was a couch in the living room. Why? 555. Because I think her dad, allegedly, in my opinion, from what I see, her dad treats her like she's his wife. So I think he is smashing his daughter by any means necessary, and she wants to sleep with her brother, who is my ex-security. She used to get mad when he used to come and spend the night with me. I'm like, why is she mad? That's her brother. These people are But this is what they believe in, right? A Gambian told me traditions is what's killing them. Traditionally, why do you have to marry your family member? Some people will consciously not marry someone that is their family member because they know what it will do to their children. This Ghanaian sis talked about that. She said people said she was dumb to move to Ghana permanently because she would have to give up her child credit and money. Mm. I wouldn't want to. For so long I thought that they were better than us. I'm like, oh, they have their surname, they have their culture, they living in Africa. You be around these people for some time, you be like, I'm happy that I'm happy that I am a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade, because if not, I will be over there acting like them, marrying my cousin, marrying an 80-year-old man or woman to try to make it like I love them just so I can get out of the country. It's wrong. And then they wonder why so many of these third world countries are so diabolical. Now, I'm talking about Africa, specifically to the countries that I've been to. I have never been to a predominantly Muslim country. And I was so excited, like, oh, I could fast for Ramadan. Man, being around these people is worse than being around these people in America. Because you think that they're so pious, but there's more alcohol and rugs and 304 houses, right? They have prostitution houses everywhere. Okay, so let's get back to this. Federal immigration laws, visa and marriage fraud. So it says invalid, using an illegal or fraudulent marriage to secure a green card or visa violates federal immigration laws. So that means, thank you, Denise Ann, that means that Ibrahima and Jabu can be both arrested on federal crimes. This is making me giddy on the inside. Okay, that's what y'all were talking about. I see it now. Okay, I was just calling it ICE. I see what you all are talking about now. Inbreeding is a problem. Yes, they get a living wage plus money for the kids, basically welfare. Yes, Carbon Star. That's what happens. That's what happens. So then they can go and stay in Africa for months and months and months. We know that that's not normal. Unless you have your own business, that's not happening. That's not happening. So now I understand what y'all were talking about. The United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, the USCIS. Thank you for that. It clicked. I just kept saying, I'm going to contact ICE on their asses. Okay, so it says, okay, so the USCIS defers to local laws to determine if a marriage is valid. Because an uncle-niece marriage is illegal in Washington. All they have to do is run some blood. Well, what are they going to say? We're not married. I'm like, they lying. You better do some blood work. I know that they're married. She said that is her uncle. She said it. Now, let's talk about why she married her uncle. It's because she had a child out of wedlock. So in their eyes, they look at her as damaged 1212, damaged goods. They look at her as damaged goods, only fit for her old PDF file uncle. She was crying to me and she was like, I'm not going to go out and stay out all night. He knows me. And I looked at her. I said, is that towards me? I'm grown, boo. I paid to stay here. No one is, girl. The fact that she was like, I don't use my oven. And I'm sitting here like, what you use has nothing to do with the person that rented this place to stay here. What does that have to do with anything? But this is how these people think. I don't do it, so why should you do it? What? One of the bathrooms was smelling like poop because of the septic system. The house leaks like a sieve. But yeah, she said, he knows me. He watched me growing up. I'm like, I wanted to vomit in my own mouth. You're going to say he watched you growing up. He watched you grow up. And then he said, oh, she's fit for me to marry her now. You don't see anything wrong with that? No, because these people are brainwashed to think that this is fine. Okay, so federal authorities will view the marriage as legally null and void for immigration benefits. Marriage fraud, if the marriage was entered into for the sole purpose of evading immigration laws or gaining entry to America, that's what this is, y'all. That's exactly what this is. He married her to bring her to America. So, marriage fraud under federal immigration laws, visa and marriage fraud. If the marriage was entered into for the sole purpose of evading immigration laws or gaining entry to America, it constitutes federal marriage fraud. Ding, 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 ding. This carries penalties of up to 5 years in federal prison and fines up to $250,000. Holy crap. Holy crap. This is what they need. Now, number 3, professional license and nurse laws for the nursing board, right? An advanced registered nurse practitioner, that's what he is, strictly regulated by the Washington State Board of Nursing, WABON. The Uniform Disciplinary Act can be disciplined for unprofessional conduct, even for acts committed outside for their medical practice. The statute explicitly covers acts of moral fortitude, moral turpitude, this is what I read earlier, dishonesty, corruption, or the violation of state and federal laws. That's everything that happened here, right? So this is what they can do to him. Summary suspicion, suspension. But hey, if he is convicted of this, right, and receives, and receives this, then this doesn't even matter. That won't even matter, because if he get put in prison, yeah, that you done out here. You're done out here. Now, number 4, Washington real estate and financial laws. Now, this is what, when I read this, I was like, what? Adding an individual to a property deed while keeping an existing mortgage involves rigid financial regulations. So this is a little different because they didn't transfer it. But let me just read this part. Financial fraud implications. If the advanced registered nurse practitioner falsified documents, which that is what he did, signed a fraudulent community property agreement, that's what he did, or lied about his marital status to a mortgage lender to secure a loan modification or deed transfer, he could face additional state or federal charges for bank and mortgage fraud. If you are dealing with this situation, please let me know if you need resources on how to file. So yes, that's that. That is that. So when they want to do stuff, they think we stupid. Like Abu was like, oh, you ghetto. You were ghetto on your platform. How am I supposed to deal with y'all demons? Because y'all like to gaslight and cause emotional trauma. And because I call you a piece of shit, short, whatever, because they don't speak like that. They don't curse like that. They just do diabolically demonic things to people and smile in their face. How much? I don't know about y'all, but I am aware of my PTSD. I am aware of my deep embedded hatred for these people. I'm not going to lie. I don't even want to talk to my friends in the Gambia. I'm like, y'all, it's a trigger. I'm sorry. It's a trigger. I'm so sorry. I don't want to see y'all statuses. I don't even want to see Gambia on the map. I'm just like, Iran, let me direct you to where you need to shoot. Oh, God. This is, I mean, when you read the book, you're going to be like, what the fuck? How is she even smiling? How is she even walking around happy at all? God. Because these people tried to take me out. And if I would have woke up when I got robbed, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. Okay, so let me see. Fill out the tip form and we'll go from there. Okay. They also have another the form. I need to print that out. I'm going to print that out. They have a form to fill out and I can mail it. I think that's for the medical board. I'm going to review it. I just found it late last night. I was like, the hell is this? Okay, so they will open a case, laugh out loud, and this current admin ain't playing with any type of fraud. I truly hope that this admin is as bad as they say it is, and fraud, especially real talk, RH, fraud against, especially with what the Somalians have put, the Somalians, they are in this administration's direct line of sight, right? So, no, they like, wait, hold on. There's some more continental Africans wowing for respect. Yes, Gambians, they in Seattle, Washington. They in Washington. I'll point you to the right direction. Let me see. Go to the tip line. Okay, let me see. Let me read these because I really want to read these. Go to the tip line at USCIS or to report fraud. It should be one of those at the website. USCIS has no problem doing DNA tests to determine if they're related. Holy crap. Holy crap. I knew it. That's the immigration, man. Immigration don't be playing. They do not be playing. She will do her 5-year prison term before they deport her. Y'all, this is making me giddy inside, right? I have a foot to fight with these people. This is making me super giddy inside. Yes, once they serve their time, they will go straight from jail to awaiting a plane back to the country of origin. Y'all, I will have a party. I will have a meet and greet. We will have a good time. Yeah, I had a very close friend it happened to. He did 14 years in jail. Once done, they took him to the airport back to South Africa, and that's what should be done. That's exactly what should be done, because they treat us this way here. Okay. And one thing is if something happens in the Gambia, no, if something happens in America, you best believe they are all talking about that in the Gambia. They be like, here in Gambia, I'm looking at them like, y'all have never been anywhere. So why do you feel the need to tell an American that travels about Gambia? I'm sitting here like, yeah, this happens in America. Somebody start fighting, everybody coming out looking. We know that. That happens everywhere. Oh, here in Gambia. I'm like, shut the hell up. You ain't never been nowhere but Gambia. Shut up. Okay, so now let's get into this. Now, the guy, I went all the way off, but I wanted to talk about that. So this is Kwesi Boyd, right? So Kwesi Boyd decides to say, now Kwesi Boyd and Jibby and Jai, this dude right here, right? G was Kwesi's right-hand man to help scam us out of at least $142,000 that I can count. Okay. Now, so this is what Kwesi says. Yes, he brought us Coca-Cola for Easy Jesus VSOP. Now, let me just say this. This person claims to be a businessman. Okay. Kwesi Boyd claims to be a businessman. He ran $1 million companies, this, that, and the third. How you doing? He is straight up, how you doing? You hear me? He's very feminine, very, very feminine. Once I saw him in person, I was like, he don't even like women. This is why he treat women like this. He don't like women. So he literally, G said that he bought COKE, that cocaina, for Kwesi Boyd and Mega Ty. Did I tell y'all Mega Ty had a nerve to pick up the phone and call me the other day? I was like, who is this? Oh, what's up, Tay? I said, who is this? This Mega Ty. I said, why are you calling me? Oh, I got the wrong number. You damn right you got the wrong number, Ninja. I don't talk to you. He talked about some, Kwesi Boyd was cleared. These are criminals. Mega Ty sold rugs in America and goes to the Gambia and act like he the big man. You destroy your own community in America and now you're a businessman. These people are criminals, but they know if they go to the scammers paradise, Gambia, who's going to hold them accountable? Gambians? I haven't seen it yet. I have yet to see it. I'm not going to say it won't happen, but I have yet to see it. Now, when we first got there, we were at Motu's and we're dancing. We're doing Zumba. We dancing, doing line dancing, not line dancing, the electric slide, whatever. Kwesi was walking around stealing people's drinks. This man is an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic. So he said, G said, you look like Mr. Ed and he didn't like you. What are we, 12? What are we, 12? I literally had to push these ninjas off of me. I was so fine. But it wasn't about me being fine. It was about them being prostitutes. Oh, God. So why do I care about what G said? This dude has nothing. He is a woman, boop, boop, Molly Whopper. Well, why do I care about what G says? He got a 60-year-old woman that's taking care of him. Why would I care what G says? Mr. Ed, I have beautiful teeth, my ninja. Can you say the same, Quasi? Now we know that is the truth. Come give me a drug test, drug enforcement. What? First of all, this person is illiterate. Quasi can't write for SHIT. Okay, he is straight up illiterate. He knows this is why he's staying in the Gambia, because I truly believe that he's afraid to come back to America. He doesn't know who's going to come and get his behind, because he's been scamming. Now he has resorted to scamming Gambians in London, in Britain, in the UK. In the UK, he has resorted to scamming Gambians living abroad in Europe. So come give me a drug test. Drug enforcement will be waiting for you because of this video exposing you as a drug trafficker. So this is the thing with these people. They have tried to say a little bit of everything about me. So you scam me out of 16,000. You write a letter, you go get a lawyer to write a letter saying that I got to give you 75,000 in 14 days. I have that letter, right? Then you say I'm a drug trafficker. What in the hell is going? I swear, these people. Let's just be devil's advocate, play devil's advocate. If I was trying to be a drug trafficker, which I wouldn't do because I've never been arrested and I don't want to go to jail. Okay, I don't break the law, god dang on it. But if it didn't happen, how did I sustain myself? Right? So are you saying my 16,000 I invested was drug money? Prove it then. But this is what these people will do. When you call them out on their criminal behavior, the first thing they do is personally insult you. So you went from the best opportunity in your life to hanging with low life and scammers trying to sell weed here in the Gambia MP. I want to keep going into this. The best opportunity of my life, when you stole our money, when I have proof that you sent $14,000 to your sister, you sent money to your friend, you gave money to your ex-wife, you gave over $200 to your daughter, Malaysia, of investors' money. These people need to be in prison. They really do. Because you do these things and then you talk crap. So then he says, low life and scammers. My mistake was believing in these black people going to Africa. That was my biggest mistake. Miss L, my aunt on the map, believed in that black family, PVTV, for them to stay in her house, and they destroyed her house. Had the little girls walking around naked and everything around the workers. I don't know what was happening there. I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. So he says, I was selling P. Who am I selling my punani to? Poor folk? Make it make sense, crazy drug addict Boyd. Make it make sense. So he said, oh, sorry, you were paying for D. So this is the same lie that G made up. Oh, she paid me $1,000 for. Why would I pay anyone anything when I look the way I look? If I wanted to sleep with someone, I'm single, I can. But in order to defame my name, this is what they say. But Quasi had how many wives? At least 4. You have to pay a diary, right? You have to pay a bride price. So I guarantee you he paid for every woman. So I guess he's paying for punani, whatever. Now, this is why I'm showing this. Sorry for the loss of your money, but it was your stupidity. So you scammed me out of 16. This is why this is with the lawyer, right? Because for him to do this and then say this, he's a sociopath. He doesn't care. His ex-wife said out of her own mouth that when she was pregnant, he starved her. He beat her. What? Yes. That video is on my page as well. And we know it was the truth, because what did he do? He went and made 3-4 videos about how she stole from him and how he taking her to court. He always say he taking somebody to court, but I mean, I'm the one pushing this case. He know he done scammed all these people and not one black American will stand with me. Why? Because they're cowards. They show tough, but they cowards. I tried to warn you, but you were on your women empowerment BS. I told you this person hates women. He's a homosexual and he hates women. He literally hates women. Good luck. You're going to need it with your decision. You lost here in the Gambia because you made a bad decision. Move on and try to make a better decision with your life. I will not trust y'all piece of shit black folk like him. They probably have, I may miss a lot of opportunities with black people, but this has traumatized me so bad that I'm just going to believe in myself. No one else. I'm going to believe in myself. I appreciate the people that help me, but when it comes to a business opportunity, I can't. I lost $16,000 and went through all this trauma with these ninjas. So this is the same thing. You lost here. Move on. Isn't that the same thing Abu said? Do they share a brain? Maybe they do. Sorry about your weed shipment. They got you good on that one. What? So Phoenix, the person that I helped, the main one saying, oh, she blah, blah, blah with weed. Ma'am, you literally put weed in Phoenix Rain, Needles and Nourishment, right? The light-skinned woman that I helped to let her stay with me. I should have left her ass crying on the beach, right? I shouldn't have helped none of these black people. Word is bond. I shouldn't have never helped none of these black people. But she literally put Mary Jane in a tea bag, sealed it, and brought it to the Gambia. I don't know where these people come from because I would never do any stuff like that. In America, on the plane, I don't know these people. I don't know what type of criminal past they have, but I don't know these people. These are not my people. They got you. He said that 16-7, you lost. So now he's flexing about the money that I lost. I'm not gonna lie. Do I wish somebody would take his life? I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I hope he come across the right person that he scammed, because like, who does this? Oh, I forgot. Let me keep going. Oh, I forgot. The $700,000 you paid for a $300K lease. They say a fool and their money will soon part. When are you coming back to finish me? Well, I did hire a lawyer. This lawyer did put in amendments, and he understands. And when I talked to him, he asked me specific questions. He wants to destroy Kwesi Boyd. He can't wait for us to get in court, because he sees the crimes that this person, that this American came to the Gambia and did. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about Black Acres of the Gambia, Cynthia and Rick, telling me that they went into Kwesi Boyd's house and they saw financial statements everywhere. Why didn't they go down to serious crimes and back me up? Black man, black woman, black child, why didn't they do this? This is why I keep calling these piece of shit people out, because they're nothing but lying, scamming, phony pieces of crap. I mean, I wouldn't follow Bag anyway. Oh, you max out all your credit cards and go to Africa. Who does that? Someone that has no financial literacy. None. An American over there was like, oh, they're like the black hillbillies of the Gambia. I've never been out there, because Miss Cynthia was like, well, Miss Leslie never been out here. Why? Why did you feel the need to tell me that Leslie has never been out to Bag? Why? Because you hating because she built 2 houses in 3 years and it took y'all 8 years? Well, y'all broke. You only have YouTube money and your husband's whatever, because you don't have an education. Right, Cynthia? But see, this is what I say. These people will say things behind the scenes. Why does she feel the need to tell me that? Because they messy. Fuck Bag. They messy as hell. Okay, so I missed too many comments. All right, let me go back, y'all. Have you notified the FBI that you were scammed by people? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And they told me to just keep giving them information. You know, the FBI, they were saying that they come after the fact. When things have happened, I went right to the Tucson FBI branch. I spoke to them twice on the phone. Both times I talked to them, they said that they were hiring. I was like, what in the hell? But honestly, if I was 35, if I was 30, finishing my degree, I would go work for the FBI, forensic accounting. Because honestly, what's funny is What I put together, I had to put all of the evidence. Thank God I did get the evidence from a Ghanaian that invested, but his Black American wife, that's a lawyer here in America, said, don't get involved. These fucking Black people, I can't, I don't understand. So she was like, no, I just want to have our perfect life, right? And have our babies. But you can help her. Ma'am, F you. And she got the same surname as me. I'm happy I didn't go to that wedding. Why would I support somebody that won't support me? This is why I don't talk to half of the Black Americans oh, Tay Tay, we want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. You have information that can help me with this case. And you think I want to talk to you? F you, lose my number. I didn't block them, but they know not to call me. So yes, I did tell them, the FBI here in Tucson, I did let them know. But the information that I put together for my lawyer putting the case together for the complaint and matching the evidence and following the money. Imagine, I only had access to Quasi Boyd's bank account, the information that he gave to Jonathan, the person that did the internal audit, right? And he said he only did it so he can get all the information so I can use it later. Yeah, thank you. But he too is a mental health therapist. I don't know what the hell is wrong with these people, right? You're a mental health therapist and you're like, well, I'm not helping you. Well, what the fuck? It's just crazy. So I think he might have deleted himself off my Facebook page. I really don't care. I don't care. I don't care. All them people could go to hell for all I care. So with gasoline jaws on. So the fact that I was able to follow the money there. Imagine if I had FBI clearance. What? I will be great at following the money. I love numbers, but I'm too old. I'm too old. They won't. I think the cutoff is 35. My professor was like, if she didn't get married and had children, she would probably still be with the FBI right now doing forensics. Because she worked on a case with a big lawyer. I think it was the Russian. She told me, I gotta look it up. Some type of big Russian scam. She's a CPA, so she was working with that lawyer to follow the money. I said, man, I would love that. I would be at work all the time. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. So I did let them know. But honestly, it doesn't have to be millions. But like I said, if it's just me that's fighting, we know that there are numbers. When we see the FBI going after these people that love bomb and scam all these people, it's like in the millions, right? At least $1 million or whatever. But if it's just me, it was only me and another African-American girl that lost $2,000 that filed a complaint with the IC3.gov with the FBI. And as soon as I started doing that, Shrek, my stalker, Victoria, aka Kiki Loves Nigeria, that's always worried about somebody else, right? Can't wait to sue her ass for $6,000. I'm gonna shut all these niggas people up. Sorry, y'all. That's what they are. They're ignorant people, not the GA, the GERS. Okay, that's who they are. So that's when she started attacking me when I started exposing this. Because whistleblow, they don't want you to be a whistleblower. They want you to take their abuse. He's a true scumbag. Yes, that's what he was trying to say, RH. So that's also defamation. Because if you're going to say that, then Ninja, you got to prove it. Prove it. Who you listening to? Phoenix? The one that's scamming people now? She didn't even have nowhere to live. Every time you turn around, she crying, and Black people send her money. Her and what's that other girl name? ES. They have learned that if you get on here and you start crying, they will give you money. Did y'all see the passport traveler is back in Ghana after these people done paid for her to come back to America? I don't know what's wrong with these Black people. I don't know what's wrong with these older Black people. These people are not my people. I don't know who they are. The FBI will follow up. They can get people abroad charged with crimes. Yes, Denise Ann, I just don't know if it's enough. I don't know if it's enough. Because I talked to someone said, when I called, they was like, oh, they closed your file. And then when I called back, I was like, well, they told me that they closed the file. She was like, the FBI never closes anyone's file. We always have these files. I don't know why they told you that. So I'm like, God dang blasted. So my whole thing is they may never, a lot of times people are never charged criminally. But this is what civil court is for. Now, the reason why I have this huge civil case in Gambia against Kwesi is because it's all about money, right? The dude said he was going to prosecute him for fraud, but once the deputy commissioner of prosecution, once I told him, he was just trying to talk to me and date me. Once I told him I wasn't going to the guest house with him, oh, you're going to have to go after him civilly. I said, these people are straight up prostitutes. They are straight up prostitutes. If you don't give them punani, I'm like, I could pay money. I can give you money. That's what y'all want anyway, corrupt ass. I can give you money, but I'm not giving you my most precious gift. Why? These are hoes. These are straight up Johns. They know they're prostitutes, and they want me to be the John. And who introduced me to him? Black Sid. I got to write a book. I have to write a book. Yes, Carbon Star. Yes, I saw a video come across my thing, and she was showing her studio apartment. And it can't, I'm assuming it's in the in Ghana, in Africa, because they had the buckets, and she talked about buckets and water. And if she was in the views was like 2,000. If she's in America, your views are low. People follow you when you're in Africa, no matter if you're going through good, bad, or indifferent. It's just, we have this false facade that, oh, it's better there. No, it's not. It may be cheaper in some aspects, but you're going to spend more money. You get an apartment. Our apartments here come with a stove, a refrigerator, and sometimes a microwave, right? You got to buy all that stuff there. They're renting places with no sink, no kitchen. What is this? I'm not going to live in a third world country like that. I don't live like that here, but that's what they do. I will, Denise Ann. I'm getting stronger. I really am. I'm back in the gym, and I've just realized I've come to the realization, like, you know, whatever happens with this civil case, whatever happens with any of these cases, it's fine. I have peace with it because I will get my justice with these books. Because the knowledge, this is why Gambians accept me, the good ones, because they like, yo, she like one of us. This is why I could walk around in Gambia and get around on my own. But if they put their hands on me, the trauma, my brain going to say, this is not a test. F them up. And I'll be sitting in jail somewhere. Right? That's it. I'll be sitting in jail. I'll be like, oh, Balama, I have money. You want some money? I'm so sorry. You just pay your way out. Just like Kwesi did when he took a chair and went up. He saw two UK British people. He saw two British people. He picked up a chair and he bust the dude in his head. Split the dude's whole scalp. Split his whole head open. He was looking at 8 years in prison. Who helped him out? He paid $150,000 Dalasi, which is $3,000. Can you imagine paying $3,000 and being able to walk away from attempted 187? That's what he did. Who helped him? Black Sid. Black Sid helped him. And then she said, well, we don't see the reason that he should go to prison because he hit a white person. I said, wow. Wow. Okay. So, but she's Puerto Rican. I'm like, but she know how to play the black card. She tricked all these Black Americans to buy land, and some of them can't build because it's property gain taxes on the land. So if you buy land for like $1,500 and you think, oh, well, I got $1,500 to buy this land and I'm going to build with this amount, and then you got to pay an extra $1,500 for the property gain tax, they're not building. If they don't have it, they're not building. Miss L had it, so she went and she built. Most people are not building, right? What's his name? The Happy Companion, has he built his house yet? Now, he lived in the country. Why didn't he take Juliet to court? I mean, he's an adjunct professor. I would think that he has some type of education. These people are cowards. They are cowards. Oh, wait, Carbon Star said, at one point, I wanted to move as well, especially during the lockdown. I'm so happy my hubs talked me out of it. He was like, we can visit, but that's about it. Your husband saved y'all. He saved y'all from the malarkey. So this is what Kwesi always says. Kwesi says, I am currently at my attorney office. It's attorneys, but I told you he's illiterate. We are pushing for the judge to enforce the gag order in our class action lawsuit. What class action lawsuit? This dude literally was contacting investors that he did not give them, return their investment for them to be in a class action lawsuit against me and Phoenix. This is how diabolical this person is. He needs to be in prison. Do you know that his brother, the one time he came back to America in Connecticut, his brother was found dead in an alleyway? Ooh. So if someone is found dead in an alleyway, you've been living kind of foul. This is why he's hiding in Africa. Look at that broke hand. You see that wrist? Do y'all see that wrist? You see that broke wrist right there? Do y'all see it? How you doing? Okay. But he's a down low. He's from Atlanta. He's a down low. You know, shout out to the, I don't have anything against the LGBTQ community. Let me just say that, right? What I have something against is these down low dudes that are smashing dudes and then going and smashing women. We know that that's how people get HIV. Okay? I mean, people can get HIV heterosexually too, but that's not how it's supposed to be. So that's why I say that to him. How you doing? All defaming content is being presented to the attorney and judge in this matter. Y'all, this was a while ago. I don't even know if his page is still up, but I know y'all noticed that he changed it to Go Hard Africa, right? It's no longer Go Hard Gambia. So my whole thing is well, I'm gonna get to that Carbon Star. So it's just funny to me that he posts this on YouTube, right? But what people kept saying, well, Shanti, why are you not talking about it? Why are you not talking about it? I'm like, because I'm trying to give the Gambia the benefit of the doubt, right? And handling this in court. But then I realized, well, people can be paid, and the deputy commissioner, Quasi Boyd, he kept saying, and I'm like, why? Do you think this is a joke? Yes, because I believe he was paid. That's in my full heart of hearts. I believe he was paid. I do. So, but why isn't he pushing the court case? Because he know he will lose. Everything that I said in my complaint can be backed up with evidence. Quasi can't say anything. Oh, she said I'm a drug addict. Well, I mean, we had a meeting and about you being abusive to Phoenix, and he's like, oh, I have a joint. I'm like, Quasi, this is a meeting. Well, I'm a smoke. This is not a businessman. This is a drug addict. Just like a drug addict, alcoholic, infested brain on the egg, just like Jibby and Jai. Did y'all see that white party? They were toasted. Didn't Adama say she walked in on Art Kathy and Art Kathy was sniffing that white girl? These people are, I don't know, they've realized they can go to Africa and just live their best criminal life, especially in Gambia, especially if they speak to the misogynistic man that is, or males that are in the country, because we know in Gambia is these Muslim countries don't treat these women right. Gambia, Ghana, they don't treat them right. So if they go and they speak to this misogynist elder about, oh, well, she's doing, because they'll go and snitch on the elder about the girl when she's not listening to them. I'm like, y'all are some weak males. You're some weak males. And there's plenty of weak males in the Gambia, unfortunately. This message is not recent. No, this is a while ago. This was a while ago on his community page. This was a while ago. So what happened? Nothing. Why am I the one still pushing the case? So Carbon Star said, and she's talking about Juliet. I was just about to say, isn't she biracial? Biracial. She is Puerto Rican from the UK. Yes. I think she's Puerto Rican and Jamaican, because she said, Adrian's not from Jamaica. He's from an island. I think it starts with an M. I want to say Madagascar, but that's not it. Somewhere in the island, somewhere down there around Jamaica. Adrian's not Jamaican. He's from another island. But she made sure to say that. So I guess she's Puerto Rican and Jamaican. Her family came over to the UK on the Windrush. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Mama, here for support for you. Thank you so much. It is a crime ring. And what's funny is Abu Wage, the Afrodamus report, did a video saying that this was an organized crime ring. So when he says that, and I'm like, then why didn't you go to serious crimes and back me up and say that? No, because he hate us. They don't care what happens to us over there. They're like, oh, if I say I got robbed, oh, what did they take? Money? Or how much money did they take? This is how they ask me. And I'm like, Shantae, if you don't get the F out of this shithole country, these people hate you. And if you're not safe, if you're not careful, you'll end up dead or killing one of them. And I don't want to go to jail. I got a good life. Hola, Nancy, you're Cubana. I've been to Cuba in 2018. Beautiful experience. So let me just say this. I'm happy you did say you're Cuban. So what's funny is, Nancy, you can say this. You can say whether I'm lying or telling the truth. When I went to Cuba, I was told that they look out for the tourists. And if any Cuban tries to get over on the tourists, they will go and tell the police, and that Cuban citizen will be arrested. And I said, well, why? They said because the tourists are the ones that keep this country going. So how dare someone mess with the tourists? I said, well, I wish the Gambians thought about that, because they see the tourists and say, get them. Not all of the Gambians, y'all. It's not all, but it's a large majority enough where people are not speaking up, and it's happening too often. So, see, Nancy said, yes, it's true. We were in the streets dancing at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, doing salsa, some cumbia, some merengue in the streets at 2, and I never felt unsafe. Cuba? People talk about Cuba, but Cuba's literacy rate is in the 97th percentile. Cuba has the most educated doctors. So really, America can't really talk about Cuba because we can't say that our literacy rate is in the 97th percentile as a whole. I enjoyed Cuba. I will go back. Not with the black people I went with. I will go back by myself, right? Maybe go through Mexico, right? If I had a Mexican passport, I would go through Mexico, right? They can go. Every nation was in Cuba, but they don't mess with the tourists. Can we say that about the Gambia? No. So even with, I respect Cuba because they're not getting anything from America, but they still got them cars going. When I went there, I was like, damn, they talking about what? Cuba's money, their exchange was like, it was like 80 cents to a dollar. It was high. It was like me spending US dollars there. It was high. So people may say Cuba ain't shit. I don't believe that. Cuba is getting help. Cuba helped Africa during COVID. Cuba, I mean, Cubans in America say it's horrible because of the communism. Is it communism? Dictatorship. They say it's bad, but as a tourist, I felt safe. And I knew that if anybody did something wrong, they're going to protect their tourists. And I say that because Gambia is a tourist-driven country. It's tourist-driven. So for them to allow their own citizens to attack the tourists, wait until y'all see. There are two different scenarios. One is an American man. They tied up that Gambian. That Gambian came there to rob. They beat the hell out of him and tied him up. You'll see. It's probably going to be add suitability because it's blood and everything. But the second one, you walking through the house and you would think somebody got slaughtered, right? It was sangre everywhere. Everywhere. Sangre means blood. Everywhere. And this was a Gambian. I don't know where he came from, the UK, America. I don't know where he came from. He came back to the Gambia to visit, and he said, I ain't never coming back here again. Why? Because if his son wasn't there, he wouldn't be here right now. A Gambian came in. Where's the money? Where's the money? Jabbing him with a KNIFE, jabbing and jabbing and jabbing and I said, now if he's doing that to his own people, how in the hell are we supposed to have a chance? Communist, thank you. Communist. I had it right the first time. It's a communist country. Tourists are in front of the island people. Miami used to be like that in the old days. I grew up in South Miami. See? So Nancy said it's called the tourist rule. You don't touch the tourists. You do not touch it. I wish more countries, I wish the Gambia was like that. But unfortunately, too many Gambians have this mindset of it's us against them. So why would I want to be in a country where it's us against them? Because it's always going to be them in their country. So that's why it's always going to be us in my country. I can do the same thing here. The doctors from Cuba go all over the world to treat people for free. I would love to be able to do that. Oh, I wish I could be a doctor with borders. I really wish I could do that. You know, Gambians kept telling me to stop filming. My husband said, they put the phone down. They crooked. That's why. And they will say that. Now, what's funny, RH, let me just say this and then I'm going to move on with this video. I said I was going to keep you off for 1 hour, 2 hours. But this is why I can't just do a video about Gambia. It has to be in a book because it's too much. And then maybe somebody will pick it up and make a movie. Now, I'm going to say this, RH, you've been in the country and let me, I'll get to that, Carbon Star. I didn't really work with anyone, but I'll get to that. So, RH, you see Gambians with their phones everywhere, right? They always selfies. You see the dudes take more pictures. The girls take more pictures. They got to put it online and try to get a tourist, a two-bob to change their life. But it's funny when we record and they have a problem, right? But they all got their phones out. Oh, I'm cute, singing Senegalese music because they don't even sing their own Gambian music. I'm like, y'all don't even know who the hell y'all are. It's Senegal. Well, what about Gambia? It's so funny. They have no identity. They always say, oh, this Gambia. They have no identity. They act like everyone else. They act like Jamaicans or this Wagwan. They act like Jamaicans, right? They walk like Jamaicans. They be switching. I'm like, who's gay here? Because their butts, they switch more than the females, okay? You see how them look at how the dudes walk. You be like, maybe because I live in America and so many people are gay. Maybe I see things that I'm not supposed to see, but or they're acting like the UK people in it, not isn't it, in it, right? They're talking like them, or they're talking like the uneducated Black Americans. They don't take any of our good stuff. I said, why don't y'all read to your children? They don't do that. They take everything negative that the Black Americans do and then want to talk bad about us. And I'm like, but y'all out here selling drugs. Y'all hate the police, right? You're prostituting. I'm like, how are y'all any different from the horrible Black Americans in America or any Black person around the world? How are y'all any different? You're not. But there's no accountability. They will never say, well, you're right. They won't say that. They will just deflect and blame it on you. That's Gambia's for you. Y'all can't wait for the book. I know it. Okay, so did you work with the Black UK brother who moved there? He was initially in Gambia, but then moved to Senegal. I think, oh, no, I did not work with him. Carbon Star, you are talking about Molly Morris. Molly Morris is a Jamaican prostitute. He didn't even have the business. Motu, you talking about the dude that wanted to act like the face of Motu's. But his girlfriend was suffering in silence. What's her name? Angel. Angel owned Motu's, but she let Molly be the face. He did nothing but disrespect her. But she was suffering in silence when he was in the UK. He will lock her in the closet or lock her in a room and yell at her through the door. But then he messed with some woman named Gabrielle, I think, in the Gambia, Black American. And then he got this stupid Black American, but he gave her a baby. Our Black women are so lost. It's not even funny. This dude doesn't do anything, but that Black woman is like, I got a man, my man. I got a baby. This my husband. I'm like, you got low self-esteem, man. He was looking for the next person. So of course she took him out of Gambia. Let me take him out of Gambia, take him to Senegal so nobody know. We still know that you bought that man because he was out there looking like a crackhead when Angel kicked him out. Well, he left Angel. She didn't kick him out. She was still going to take him back. These women are desperate Debbies. So of course they will say, oh, she's doing this, she's doing that. I'm like, I'm the type of woman, I don't want to be tied down. Right? Shout out to the young lady. She said, I don't want to get married. I don't want any children. Everybody started coming for her. If that's what she wants, then that's what she wants. Who is anyone else to tell her, go get married and have children? What if that's not what she wants? So for me, I'm like, look, I'll smash you and keep it moving. Marry you. Oh, boy, you crazy. You crazy. But these women, they got a little money and they are desperate Debbies. So no, I never worked with him. He's the one that told me about the compound that I stayed in and ended up getting robbed out of. Now, what I didn't know, it was him, Phoenix, and the owner's brother, Omar. They charged me $600. And I know they split it. So when I talked to Gambians, it was like $600 agent fee. Yes. These people don't care about us. So let's see if Ibrahima Bangura will end up in prison and then deported back to the Gambia. Oh, that would be a beautiful thing. Y'all, I would go on a cruise and invite every last one of y'all. It would be party time, excellent. Wayne's World, Wayne's World. I swear. So, thank you so much, Nancy. This is how I'm healing. His channel, he changed his channel too. But it used to be, I don't know. He changed his name too. I think I have it though. I have to look, I have to turn the camera off for that. But I think I do have it because he went to Senegal and then he started making videos about people that was scamming. So he made a video about RJ Mahdi. And the sad thing is these people won't say anything. For all this time, they wouldn't say not one blessed word, but I guess they realized, oh, if I talk about it, then it's content. And I went to his page and I was like, oh, now you want to talk about it? Now you want to talk about it? He's a clown. He's a clown and he got a dummy to pay for his life. One time he was on camera and the baby started crying and he was like, oh, don't worry about it. He's with his mother. I'm like, a zebra doesn't change its stripes, okay? If he was abusing Angel, you best believe he abusing that black woman in Senegal. You can't tell me any different. Yep, it wasn't his restaurant. It was Angel's restaurant. It was Angel's restaurant. Good night, Donna. I remember they used to be part of Senegal. I don't know the history of how they seceded from them. It seems like economically it would benefit them to merge. They just want to be, they want to be Senegalese so bad. They want to be Senegalese so bad because they don't have a culture. They don't have an identity. They don't have an identity. Gambians don't have an identity. They act like everybody else. But yeah, it wasn't his restaurant. But, you know, Angel was suffering in silence and Angel like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, let him be the face of it. He literally did a video with, what's her name? The UK girl. Damn, what is her name? Brown skin. She was engaged to somebody and then I guess they didn't talk about, I don't know. She was like, oh, well, I don't want to talk about it. You know, we broke up. What was her name? Something. I don't like her either. What's her name? I can't remember her name. She did with her mother and her father. Whatever the girl name is. But he did a video with her. And Alicia Renee. No, what is her name? I don't know. I really don't like her. So it kind of went out of my mind. She's Gambian, don't speak a lick of Wolof. All she do is look down on people, right? Because the UK people, they come there. What's funny is how the UK people really be treating Gambians like slaves. Molly Morris, Angel. I saw that. I was like, why are y'all talking to them like that? I guess they knew something I didn't know. I was still, I'm sitting there taking up for these black people, and then they turn on me. I'm like, oh, well, Shante, you shouldn't have said anything. You should have let them continue to treat them like slaves. Maybe they know something you didn't know. I don't know. Like the UK people, they be checking they be searching them like they police when they come to work, searching their pocketbooks and leaving. And told me, you need to do that because these people are lying, scamming, thieves. I said, damn, why the hell y'all keep coming back here then? Right? But she did an interview with Molly Morris, and her boobs were just out, right? And after the interview, Molly Morris was like, oh, I couldn't even focus. I just, titties in the face. And I'm just like, I looked at Angel, but the abuse when he felt comfortable to say that in front of her. Says something about the girl, the banking girl, she wears stripper heels, right? They wear stripper heels. So he was like, oh, you see her with her stripper heels, you saw her butt. And I was just like, okay, so this person has no respect for Angel. And then when I found out that he used to abuse her, you think it stopped just because they came to the Gambia? No, he still was abusing her. So you think he stopped and not abusing Shay in Senegal? Please. He's abusing her too. But she probably, a lot of people say face. A lot of people say face, just like, I was like, where's the Mandinka family? Well, if you showing all this, they love me, they love me, they love me, and then you come to America and he drop you like a hot potato, nobody wants to show that. So now I'm just going to back out. They're never going to see me again. Same thing. Now, what would Shay do? She would be the other American that picked up a piece of crackhead Gambian, Jamaican, right? Loser, opportunist, sling penis to get a green card, right? She'll probably bring him to America. You dummy. So you think he's not abusing her? Well, he's not going to change. You think she will say if he was? No, because that will make her look stupid. But I guess she's suffering in silence. So this is a picture of Juliet Ryan on the right side, all the way to the right. Jibby is all the way to the left. And then Kwesi is in the middle. Now, all of these people are confirmed scammers. They are confirmed scammers. So look at how they all looking at the money. I heard that they're about to take Juliet's home, 1414. I heard that they're about to take Juliet's home because so many people have taken her to court for these land deals. Now, this says Juliet Ryan, Jibby and Jai and I at African Properties are counting money for land purchase from clients. We started to see problems in the early on. Jimmy and I work 24/7. To see the movement can flourish. To see that the movement can flourish. What movement? The movement of y'all taking people money? Because that's all y'all did. All they did was take people's money. G ain't never seen that much money in his life. Look at him teeth. Look how happy he is. Oh my God. They don't care that they're scamming. All three of these people are sociopaths. Juliet, oh Jesus, that's for another story. She's gonna get a whole chapter of her own. Cheating with a Nigerian dude, got online and said, me and Katie having a baby. But to cover her stuff, they thought, oh, Tay gonna be the fall guy. So she lied and say I was sleeping with Adrian. I don't even think Adrian is cute. I like a man's man. No disrespect to Adrian, but I don't do that, okay? So she felt the need to say that. If I lived in the Gambia, I will sue her roly-poly marshmallow behind. But it looks like Carmen's taking care of her. Her brother left because his money stopped coming. He's a little slow. So her brother, Seth, she was getting money from him. Once the money left, she kicked him out. And Seth had to stay with the Gambian neighbors. She kicked her own brother out when his disability or mental check from the UK stopped coming. What the hell? Juliet, right? So what about Caffrey? Who knows about her son? Who knows? Because Adrian said he hasn't talked to her. He hasn't talked to his son. But the video that when she sent me an audio, her son was sitting in the car and he was like, "Yup, what the hell does his ass know?" Because while she was chasing Katie, Adrian was chasing her, and nobody was watching out for Caffrey but me. She come home one day, she didn't even know her cook was off of work. I had to share my food with Caffrey. This boy is around there saying roaches don't like whatever. He's like, they like cock. What? This boy is screaming for attention from his parents, screaming. He's burning. You know how the erasers go on the pencil? He pushed it through the pencil. He's burning pencils. He's burning erasers. He's just doing anything to get their attention. And this is what she's worried about: money and scamming people. And you going to tell me to go to the Gambia? No, thank ya. So this is how Gambians look when they don't have a Tubob helping them, right? They look very olive oil-ish, especially him. So that's the immigrations officer that smuggled me across the border. Who the hell gets smuggled into Africa? I did. They smuggled me into Africa, right? And all they're doing is taking pictures. All they're doing is doing a photo op, because none of this was like this when we got there. This is the Ghana Town property where he said they had air conditions, they had solar panel things. I have the audit. None of those things existed. None of those things existed. So they were just committing fraud, writing things down that actually didn't happen. Now, how do we think that they can be prosecuted for a white collar crime when it's hard to prove a white collar crime here? This is why them going over there committing these crimes, this is why they're not being held accountable. But I will sue them civilly. You see Quasi sweating because there aren't any air conditioners in there. But he said that there are air conditioners. And you see this girl with these tire wigs. This is what Gambian girls, y'all, all they do is wear them tired ass wigs. Okay. Now, let me take y'all. Okay, so let me just, we're at the part now where you're going to hear Jibby and Jai's wife suffering in silence, crying to G, why are you doing this? Why are you beating us? Why are you doing this? You'll hear it. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Please, no, let us go. No. You hear him? You hear him? Now, she's crying. Why are you doing this? Now, let me just, I think I have, let me see. Okay. All right. So there's a video where the police are walking him out, right? He's taking his time. They're walking him out because they came and got him, because his wife, Khadijah, friend, Denise, which you're going to see a picture of her, she went ahead and she's like, I'm not going to deal with this, right? I'm going to expose him. I'm taking him to the police. He tried to bite her damn finger off. He tried to bite her finger off, but you hear her crying. Now, if you're going through this, why are you trying to, okay, I guess I would try to hide my face too, right? I would try to hide my face too. But the fact that she knew, let me give y'all context. So G would get crazy and beat the hell out of Khadijah. Khadijah will call her friend Denise. Denise will come to the house, pick Khadijah up, take her to the hotel, let her stay in a hotel for about 3 days, and then get him to calm down, and then she'll come back to the house. We know, watching true crime, that is a horrible cycle of abuse, right? So for Khadijah to sit in that courtroom and let G lie, knowing that you're going to hear her on, well, why are you doing this? Now, I want you to listen to him, right? When you saw how he came and attacked me, right? Throwing stuff at me, holding me down. This animal has anger management issues. So did my security. That's because they're mad. They're mad that they don't have anything, but they don't want to work. They want a woman to take care of them and sling penis. That's a prostitute. So Renee Marcus' brother is the same way, right? So you're going to hear him. You can hear the hate. No, right? You're going to hear it. Let me turn it all the way up. And you're going to tell me they don't hate us? Why would he do that to his wife? But this is what he does. This is what he does. Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Please, no, let us go. Please. No. Now, did you hear somebody say, don't say a word? Then that means the police were there. No, I'm lying. That wasn't the police. I'm lying. That was somebody that was with Denise. So Denise recorded it. She recorded it. And I have to go into my video because I think I don't have those videos anymore. But I have to go into my video. And I think I might have, I'm not sure, but you will hear Khadijah say, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry, Denise. I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. And I'm just like, what? This woman is 50 some odd years old. Why are you dealing with this? They say she's a business owner. She got money. What? Well, she doesn't have any common sense. You're crying. Why are you doing this? Let us go. He's living in your house. You're paying for everything and you are suffering. She chooses to suffer in silence. But when you expose your friend, if he's molly-whopping you, then fine. That's what you want. But for you to expose your friend to the same abuse, let's just go, Denise. I don't know which way. Denise was so calm. She was like, Khadijah, which way are we going? I don't know. I think maybe she has issues, but she has all this money and you never think to go see a therapist, Khadijah? You rather sit there and lie to your family. You don't choose to go see a therapist because it has to be something wrong with you for you to accept this abuse from this dude that has no respect for you. You go out with him. He embarrasses you. He talks to other girls. He makes you feel insecure. She was skinny in the picture. When I saw her, we all gained weight dealing with Gambia. We all gained weight. Come there all sexy, leave there all traumatized and fat. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Please, no, let us go. Please. No. Now, why didn't the dude do something? You see what I mean when I say these are punk ass bitches? This dude gonna stand there and say, don't say anything, don't say a word. Why this dude is abusing her? I don't want to be in a country like that. I don't want to be in a country full of soft ass dudes. Oh, don't say nothing. Let me just play it one more time. He's saying, don't say a word. And she's saying, please, why are you doing this? Just let us go. And oh, don't say a word. These dudes are clowns. They are straight up clowns. Soft clowns, cowards. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Please, no, let us go. Please. No. You heard him? He said it twice. Don't say a word. So now I'm going to close up. I'm going to tell you all about this is how we have a police report. This is from, they call their planners a diary. So when you hear diary, I'm like, what are you, 15? But that's the difference between the verbiage, right? So this is from the diary. This is Denise went to Bruford Anti-Crime. This happened in February of 2024, right? So I hope that she followed through and he was prosecuted, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I hope Denise did. So what happened was, like I said, that day, I think Denise thought it was just going to be the normal. I think she thought it was going to be normal. You know, she come over there. Khadijah called her. Hey, blah, blah, blah. He's whooping my ass. He's molly-whopping me. Can you come over here and get me? So Denise walks in. She walks into the house, and she didn't speak to G. She went right to the room. Now he mad because she didn't speak to him. These people have such an inferiority complex. It's not even funny. Now he's not paying for anything. He playing the game, but he's mad that she did not speak to him, Denise. He's mad that Denise walked in the house and didn't speak to him. I wouldn't speak to his ass either. He ain't paying anything, and all he's doing is whooping her behind, molly whopping her left, right, and all around. So now she's in a room with what's her name. She comes out. He gets up. You ain't have to speak to me. He starts fighting her. He starts putting his hands, because he ain't mollywop her, but he put his hands on his wife's friend, Denise. So she has all these scratches because he's a punk ass bitch, right? So she has all these scratches. That's her. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't think she put in a privacy complaint, but I'm going to say this. So they hate us because, like Denise, she's beautiful, right? A lot of us are beautiful at the age of 40 or 50. And them Gambians, the men want us, the women hate us, right? They're like, what, you 40? Because once they get married, I feel like I'm yelling. Once they get married and have a baby, they don't care anymore because they know that they are now a dependent of said husband. This is why many continental Africans are saying that they don't want a woman from their country because they're tired of taking care of people. They don't want dependence. They want a partner, right? So Denise is beautiful, right? She's older than me. Now, she says she fought him. He bit her finger. He tried to bite her finger off. Do you see this? You see this? Right? He punching her, she punching him. Like, do you know that his wife did not help her at all? So this make the third person, the third Black American woman that Jibby and Jai put his hands on. Now, he was charged with assault because this caused bodily injury. When he assaulted me, it didn't cause bodily injury. But he tried to bite her finger off. Now, when he sits there and says, oh, you ain't a foundation, you only gave pencils and this, that, and the third. This is one thing. You see this ball? This is one thing that I will never buy the children. The boys walk up, what they say, Dama Buga Balbi, or buy me a ball. I said, first of all, don't you know you're supposed to greet Assalamu alaikum, nanga death, oh, sorry, auntie, right? I'm like, I'm not buying you a ball. How you doing in school? Oh, I'm doing good. Then his friends will snitch on him. No, this boy's a problem. He doesn't do anything in school. I said, I'll buy y'all some books and some pencils. And a store B. Where's the store? And I go and I buy them something. I will never buy them a football. Never. Because you need to be doing good in school. But the mindset of these shithole countries is be an athlete, be an artist. Just like here in America. You don't want to get an education? Nope. Now, you're going to tell me, now this picture was after the foundation and everything. So I guess he was just doing a photo op. But look at him sagging his pants. How old is he? Look at the scruffy face. How you on the phone? Is this not a photo op? But Quasi Boy taught him. They just stupid. They just do photo ops. See, look at what we're doing. At least I was actually doing something to help these children. But criminals, this is what criminals do. They do drugs, they drink alcohol, and they do photo ops. So they'll praise you. These ninjas will praise you for helping and then insult you for helping. So whatever I did in the Gambia, none of these mofos can take anything from me that I've done. That's something that I've done. They can't take that from me. But I just really wish that people will stop suffering in silence in these African countries. Realize your worth. You're too old. The continental Africans, if they're arguing with me one was arguing with me on Instagram. Oh, you old. I'm like, that's the only thing y'all can say is we're old. And you a trick. because y'all be tricking to get here, right? So I guess we both messed up, right? At least, I mean, you're going to get old too, boo-boo, right? They'll say you old, they'll say you're fat, and I'm like, and you're, okay, so I'm not going to say what I say. But they always try to insult us when we start telling the truth about their shithole country. But I refuse to suffer in silence anymore. I won't stop until there is justice, whatever that looks like, right? Whatever that looks like. They can continue to call me old, but many of us, like I said, look good for our age. There aren't many 40 plus year old Gambians that work out like I do, that look like I do, who is as active as me. They send me in the airport, I'm working out. These old continental African women dressed in full Gambian attire or African attire, they look at me and roll my eyes. And I'm like, do I say that when I see your fat ass stuff in your face? You're jealous of me because I'm in the airport working out? So you're jealous of me. You're looking at me crazy while you walk past me to go into this little space so you can go and pray your 5 prayers or whatever, right? Allah Akbar, and then blow people up. And so you can go and work your spiritual side, but I can't work my mind, body, and spirit. These people hate us. And I don't care. I used to, and I'm like, Shantae, did you forget who you are? These ninjas are stuck in Gambian, African, third world shithole country prisons. Why should I suffer in silence because they are miserable? I have lost so much, but God is restoring, and I refuse to allow them to continue to have me suffering in silence. If I am the only one that is speaking up, then it is what it is. But when I write that book or books, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be, once I start writing, it's going to be like, I have wrote a chapter. So I'm getting there. I told y'all, I'm a numbers person. I don't really like writing, but I know to heal myself and to help people to not go through what I went through, the book or books need to be written. And to those who choose to continue to suffer in silence, then we got to lead them to their own regards. Like my professor said, everyone has a right to their own pain. And if that's what they want and they want to stay in that, then let them. You move on. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I said I was going to be an hour. It's 2.5 hours, but at least I got this out. At least I got it out. And I'm going to tell more stories in time, but I wanted to get this out. Number one, it's still in court, right? And it needs to be told. It needs to be told because no other Black American in the Gambia is going to tell you the truth, especially these YouTubers. You all have a great night, and I'll see you soon. See you next time. Take care.